Welcome to my summer hiking series in Utah, where every Friday morning I show you a hike to go on this weekend. This week's hike is hike number 3 in the series, and we'll be returning to Little Cottonwood Canyon to hike Cecret Lake from Albion Basin. As always, this week's hike is a little bit harder than last week. Cecret Lake via Albion Basin is a total of 4.5 miles with 1,217 feet of gain and a maximum elevation of 9,878 feet. This is the highest altitude we will have been so far. The high altitude will affect you, so be sure to take your time. There are multiple ways to get to Cecret Lake, but the way that I show you allows you to hike through stunning woods, take in the ski resort views, possibly see a moose, and the best part, you'll be hiking through fields and fields of wildflowers. If you're using the AllTrails app to help navigate this hike, the name of this route is Cecret Lake via Upper Albion Meadows and Cecret Lake Trail. You'll park at the Albion Grill restaurant in the town of Alta, Utah. It's free to park in this huge paved parking lot, and the ski resort leaves their bathroom facilities unlocked, which is incredibly nice of them. Begin your hike across from the restrooms and make your way down this gravel path. At this sign, take a left to continue to Albion Basin and Cecret Lake. Continue to follow this crushed gravel path. It's a fairly obvious trail with some wooden posts and string marking the edges. Make sure you get an early start, as this trail has a lot of exposed sections, and the midday summer heat in Utah is brutal. Your hiking experience will be much more enjoyable in the early morning hours. Now that our hikes are several miles long and over 1,000 feet of gain, make sure that every single person in your group is carrying their own water. Not only does this help spread the load out among everyone, but it's also a good way to help prevent running out of water on a hike. At this point, you'll see another trail branches off sharply to the left. Continue on the trail that you're already on, and now you'll see a trail branch off to the right. This time, keep to the left in order to stay on the trail that you're already on. At this point, you'll be at one of the best parts of the hike, the wildflowers. I go on this hike every year just to see these flowers. Trust me when I say they're way more impressive in person. When you come to this fork in the trail, head up to the left and hike up and around this building. This section of forest is so pretty, and there's even a bench to sit on while you listen to the babbling brook below. As you continue along the trail, you'll see the closest trailhead to the lake. You'll make a right turn here to continue hiking up through the forest, which is much more peaceful and quiet, although a little steeper. Eventually, you will pop out onto the Cecret Lake Trail, which will be much busier as most people pay the fee to park as close as possible to the lake, but they miss all the beautiful views and wildflowers that you'll get to enjoy. Take a right to continue on to the lake. There are a few small stream crossings, but you can keep your shoes dry by using exposed rocks to cross. The beautiful peak taking up much of the skyline to your left is called Devil's Castle, and it's a notoriously difficult peak to climb that requires scrambling hand over foot to the summit. At this point, the trail becomes much steeper with rocks covered in dust that are very slippery if you don't have shoes that grip well. Like a lot of people, I wear trail running shoes to hike in, and I found this part of the trail and the rocks to be no problem at all. But I did see a lot of people struggling today. You have now arrived at Cecret Lake with the lovely Sugarloaf Peak in the background. We should definitely tackle that peak later this summer, but we have some more hiking to do before we're comfortable taking on an 11,000 foot plus peak. Be sure to tune in next Friday morning for your next hike, and I promise that it won't be that much harder than this one. I would love to hear from you about your experience on this hike, so please, once you've taken this hike, drop me a note about how much fun it was or wasn't in the comment section of this video. If you can't make it to Utah to hike to Cecret Lake, tomorrow morning at midnight, I'll drop the full-length virtual hike for this hike that I showed you today. Until next week, happy hiking!